Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you some of the series that I don't plan on finishing. So these series are books that I've either read one or two of in the series, or even some actually more I think, and that I have just not liked, or I read them so long ago that I would have to reread them all again and I just can't be bothered. So yeah, I'm not going to continue on with the series, and let me know down below if you think that I should continue on with the series. Some of them I'm not sure, but I'll tell you in a moment what they are. Let's get into it. So the first series that I'm not going to continue reading is the Wither series, or the Chemical Garden Trilogy. And this one is by Lauren DeStefano, I think. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. This I read so long ago, like years back. I remember really enjoying them, but I kind of just stopped reading after I read the second one, and I don't really want to pick up the third one because I know that I'd have to read the first and the second one to read the third one, and I can't be bothered doing that. But I will always keep this on my shelf because it's absolutely stunning. These covers are gorgeous. So there's that one. The second series that I won't continue reading is the Thunder Road series. So this is the second and the third book, I believe, in the trilogy, and I've read the first book, but I ended up taking the first book back to the bookshop because I didn't get into it. I read 200 pages of it and I was still so bored of it, and unfortunately I found this one really cheap, so I picked it up ages ago, and then I got sent this one for a new release. So I was like, oh well, I thought I was gonna love it because I only heard good reviews about this series. But unfortunately I didn't, and they're just so long. Like, I think each book is like 500 pages or something like that, and I just can't be bothered getting into a series that is that long. And I didn't like the main character, and I didn't like him as well, so it's not really for me. The series that I won't be continuing reading is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. So I've read this one here, and I do know that there are two other books in this series, but each book is not based on these two characters. They're based on other characters in this story, I believe, but not on these two. So I don't think it's that big of a deal that I'm not continuing because their story, I believe, is finished. But yeah, I enjoyed this book. I didn't love it. Again, I think the cover's absolutely stunning, but yeah, I didn't love it enough to pick up the other ones. Next is a series that I'm still kind of on the fence about. I'm not sure if I want to just completely say no, I'm not finishing, or I do want to give it a go. And that is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. I actually have the two other books in this series on my shelf, so that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to continue, because I actually really enjoyed this book a lot. I think the main reason why I wouldn't continue is because I read it so long ago, and I'm not sure if I picked up the sequel, I'm not sure if I'd have to reread this to kind of like remember what's going on. But it's still, yeah, kind of like, maybe if I ever feel in the mood for it, I guess I'll pick it up, but I'm not sure at this point. After that is Alienated by Melissa Landers. This book here, I am actually not sure if it's only got one or if it's got two other books. I believe it's got two other books in this series. Again, I enjoyed it, but not enough to pick up the rest. I thought it was cute, and it was, you know, a fun, easy read. It didn't take me long at all to like get into and stuff like that. But even as I was reading it, I was kind of like, I don't really have any desire to know what happens next. So I think that kind of says it for itself, doesn't it? But yeah, I would recommend it if you're kind of like into like the alien sci-fi stuff and a lot of romance and very teenagey. Like, that's, I think, my biggest issue with this one. It was very young. So I think if I was younger, I would love this series, but right now, not so much. This one is, again, kind of like maybe on the fence. I'm more likely not to pick this one up. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh no, like definitely pick it up, but it is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. So is there a series name for this? I don't know, but this is by Ransom Riggs. I have read Miss Peregrine's, and I haven't read Hollow City yet, or Library of Souls, obviously. The reason why I wouldn't pick up the rest of this series is, one, because though I did really enjoy this series a lot, and I think Ransom is such an incredible author, and the movie was phenomenal, but it was just very middle grade, I think, and I don't know, I just didn't connect with the character, and I enjoyed myself as I read this, but I kind of like, I can't be bothered going into it more. I think at this moment I have a few more books on my shelves that I'd prefer to read over these ones. So again, maybe one day I'll get in the mood to read these, or maybe if like the second movie comes out, if they're making a second movie, I'll suddenly want to read the next book. But yeah, at the moment I've just read this one and I'll probably leave it at that. So the next series that I'm not sure if I'll continue or not is the Vampire Academy series, and I know that a lot of people are going to be very like, oh my gosh, why about this series, because trust me, I've heard it all before by friends and on Instagram and stuff. I read the first 3 in this and I enjoyed it. I only read it like probably early last year, I believe, or maybe late the year before, but I definitely missed the hype of this series. And yeah, I think if I read it when it first came out, I would have loved it, because, you know, vampires, it was all the rage and all that kind of stuff. But I don't see why it got so much hype. I liked it, I didn't love it. And I think by the end of the 3rd one, I was just kind of like over it. And I know a lot of people have told me that the next 3 in the series do get really different, and they're like much better writing and all that kind of stuff. And I do have the next 3 on my shelf, so it's very likely that I'm going to pick up this series, but I think I'm going to need to be in a very paranormal, romance, teenage mood to read these, which I sometimes get into, so there's these ones. The next series is one that I don't physically own. I read on Kindle, and is the Obsidian series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This series, again, I read the first 3 books in this series. I don't know how many other books there are. I believe there's 5 or 6, maybe there's more, I'm not sure. Again, I loved this series. When I first started reading it, I was in this massive paranormal mood, and it was like exactly what I wanted. It was the same, I got the same feeling reading this series that I got when I read Twilight years and years ago. So I loved it. But I think why I put it down is, one, because I got them really cheap on Kindle, and then I kind of was like, well, I love this series so much, I want the physical books, so I might as well wait and buy the physical book of the next one that I was up to, the 4th one. And then I just didn't, because it was too expensive, or I just like at the time bought something else or something like that, and then so it's kind of just like accumulated. And I believe I read it early last year, so it got kind of like midpoint last year, and I was like, do I want to continue this series? I don't know. I think, again, if I find the next books in the series really cheap at a bookstore or really cheap on Kindle, I'll definitely pick it up, because they're so easy. They're really quick, really like, the characters are really like entertaining as well. I love the main guy. I totally forget his name at the moment, but I love him. And yeah, it's just one of those things that if I find it cheap, I'll read it, but at the moment I can't see myself spending a normal amount of money on a book if I'm not really sure if I want to continue the series. And lastly is Angel 4 by Susan E. This series, which I don't know if it has like a series name or anything like that, but it has 2 other books in this series, and I freaking loved this book when I first read it. Then straight after I read it, I heard from actually quite a few people that the story, like, this was the best book in the series, and that the last book had a really, really bad ending, and that just totally put me off. I was like, oh, I'm not into that. So I didn't buy the next one, and then it just got like months and months later, and now it's like a year and a half later, and I'm like, I don't really know, like I kind of forget what happened in this book, kind of, and if it's not going to be a great ending, I don't want to get disappointed. I've been disappointed before, and it sucks, so I don't think I'll be continuing this series. So there you go, those are the series that I won't continue reading, or some of them that I may or may not. Let me know down below if you've read any of these series and that you recommend that I keep going and that maybe the books get better or something like that. And also let me know down below if you have any series that you don't think you'll be continuing reading, and yeah, and maybe like why. It's always interesting to know why people put down series, especially really overhyped series. I love seeing when people like don't like it, because it's very interesting. But yeah. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.